I thought we'd make some slices of jelly roll. They're all ready for you to put onto whatever dollhouse plates you have for whatever scene you're working on. Stay tuned and see how fun and easy this project is. All right, to start our jelly roll, we are going to start by making our cake layer. And to do that, we are going to use 3 colors of clay. I have a white, I have a beige, and I have and these are approximately the same amounts. We just don't want this to be white. And then I have this really tiny bit of yellow for the same reason. We want to warm this up and make it look like a cake layer. So I am going to go ahead and work these together, and this is going to take me a bit of time, so I'm going to turn the camera off and do this off camera. But once I get this worked together and get a nice even color, I'll come back and show you the next step. All right, now that that's all worked together, we need to add some texture to our clay, so it looks more like a cake. Now you can do the texture entirely with your pointy tool, in my case a dental pick, but if you add something like sand, it makes it a lot quicker and easier to do that texturing because it cuts out and gives you some texture already. So I'm going to work in, not a lot. I'm putting in a pinch at a time, and I just want to get it so it's just slightly got some crumbly texture. And I'm going to turn the camera off, get this worked all the way through, because I think those 2 pinches is probably enough. Let me show you in my hand about how much those pinches were. They were about that amount. So that kind of gives you a gauge to gauge yours with for a ball the size of this. I'm going to get them worked all the way through, and I'm going to attempt to get a really good close-up photo, and I'll put that on the blog post. I might even remember to insert it into the video about here so you can see what the texture should look like. So I'll be right back. All right, now that I've got that texture worked in, I'm going to set this off to the side, and we're going to prepare our jelly filling. For that, I've got 2 pieces of clay here. I have a piece of translucent, and I have a piece of a deep red, a pretty red. Use whatever red you've got. Any red pretty much would work for this. It will just slightly change the maybe flavor that it's supposed to represent. So I'm going to work those together. Keep in mind when you're working with translucent clay, your raw clay will look quite a bit lighter in color than it will probably once it's baked. Because some of this whitish color will bake out, but not all of it. It doesn't go transparent. But the translucent clays do, they don't look as light once they're baked usually. So, and you can see that mixes together so quickly because translucent is so soft. So now I'm going to put that off to the side, and we're going to roll out our 2 pieces of clay. Get my roller out. In fact, I'm going to turn the camera off and get my tools out, then I'll be right back. All right, if I was actually prepared, I would have had those out ahead of time. So what I've got here, I have a pair of craft sticks that I have glued together. And I clamped them together to get them as tightly together as I could. This one has a little air in it, mainly because they weren't completely straight. But this way I have a good amount. I can roll it out. And I'm going to make this thinner after I get this layered together. I just want to have this twice as thick as the red layer. Now for the red layer, I have a couple of single craft sticks. And I'm going to roll this out. We don't need a lot of clay for this. Now, I'm going to lay this on top. I'm going to cut and get myself a nice even piece. And those extra pieces I won't want to add back to my clay bags that the colors came from, but they can go into my scrap clay bag. Now, kind of press these together. We're going to start with this double piece. There. And that does two things. It thins this out a little bit, but it also adheres the two pieces of clay together. And there is our required piece of cat hair. I saw it. Where did it go? Once again, cat hair. One of you said that you can relate to that. Yeah, there's cat hair in everything I own. Okay, so now I'm going to roll this up. Now this is similar to our Yule log that we did at Christmas time. And let's see how thick, how big around our circle is. Oh, I already got it out. How thick is this? This is about an inch or ½ inch in diameter, and we want to bring it down to about 3/8 of an inch. So it's probably going to take me is it going to take me very long? I don't know. Nope, that was pretty quick. All right, now today's cake, we are going to do quite a few textured slices. I just want to get the ends cut off. And double check that you like what you're seeing there. Now I'm going to freeze this for 20 minutes because that's going to make it a lot easier to slice and keep its shape. I won't have to be as careful in my slicing. So I will see you in about 20 minutes. All right, one thing I completely forgot to do before we froze this, and it would have made more sense to do before, was to chalk the outside of it. Now, unlike most things that we do in baked goods, we do in polymer clay, this is going to be a lot lighter color chalking. I'm mainly just using the yellow ochre color. I'm going all the way around and just whoops, that's way too much. All right, so that was way too much of that. So I'm going to get a towel and kind of wipe that off. If you do that, work quickly and you can get it off before it adheres too badly. Now, go over that. Mainly yellow ochre. That was definitely an oopsie. All right, now I'm going to put this off to the side, and we are going to slice this. Because it's frozen, we don't have to be as careful as we would. And you do want to have the end of the roll down, because if you're going to flatten a side, you want it to be that one. And today's project, I am just going to continue slicing all the way down the whole cake. When I get it all sliced, I'll come back and we will do some texturing. All right, I've got them all cut and I've zoomed you in, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to try not to block, and I'm going to try not to move out from under the camera. But I'm just taking my pointy tool. It's a dental pick from Dollar Tree. There are other tools out there that are meant for this, but this is what I've been using for years and years, and it's what I'm most comfortable with. But I'm just kind of teasing or tickling that surface of the clay. Try not to texture the red layer, just the cake layer. And that's really all there is to it. So I am going to texture all the pieces that I cut, and when they're all textured, I will bake them at the recommended clay temperature around recommend is 275 because my oven tends to drift hotter when it's baking. I usually set mine at 250, knowing that it will wander up to 275 during the baking process. And I'm going to bake these for about 10 minutes, and when they're baked and cooled, we'll come back and we'll look at our cake slices. All right, and there they are, all baked and cooled. I think they turned out really cute. You could definitely use some TLS to attach them to some plates, or you could glue them down if you wanted to, or just put them loose so you can reuse them in different scenes. I hope you enjoyed today's project. If you did, be sure and hit the like button. Leave me a comment. What foods are your dolls looking to have? What do you need for your dollhouse? Let me know so I can do a tutorial that you'll enjoy. If you enjoy my content and haven't subscribed, I encourage you hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you know when I put up a new video. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.